Dentist Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economwalk Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 11:01, I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, March 14th. Your top story, more schools closing over lead hazards.
I'm Jessica Tighe, a Milwaukee police officer facing federal charges.
Partly cloudy today, windy and warm. Some storms expected at night. Could be on the heavy side. More on that coming up in a few minutes. A high of 64 near the lake, 74 inland. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Storms likely tonight and into tomorrow. Tomorrow's high, 58 degrees. 53 and sunny in Milwaukee. At 11:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, while Trowbridge Elementary reopens today for students and staff, 3 more Milwaukee public schools are closing temporarily for unsafe lead dust levels.
Closures for Starnes Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School mean those students are relocated starting Monday while cleaning and lead dust testing continues. Students at Starnes Early Childhood Center will temporarily move to Starnes Discovery Learning Center. Those at Fernwood Montessori will move to Andrew Douglas Middle School, and students at La Follette School will relocate to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning. 7 more schools are being investigated by the Milwaukee Health Department for lead dust. You can see the full list of schools at our website, WTMJ.com. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
There's a lead screening clinic for students tomorrow at Brandley Tech High School. The interim chief of school administration for MPS explains how many medical professionals will be on site.
Our partnership is with Children's Hospital, so they have a full staff. They're looking at, if I'm not mistaken, 14 or 15 lanes that will be open. MPS will have some of its nurses, parent coordinators, Milwaukee Rec on site to just support the efforts to get folks in, make folks comfortable, and go through the process.
Future screening clinics will take place at 16th Street Community Health Center and Children's Wisconsin Next Door Clinic.
A Milwaukee police officer is facing federal charges for using his position in law enforcement to aid a convicted felon. Juwan Madlock, accused of using police databases to provide confidential information to a known member of the Burleigh Zoo family, a violent local street gang, including addresses of rival gang members. MPD says Madlock has resigned from District 6 and that they are fully cooperating with the FBI's investigation.
With just hours to spare, the Senate is working to avoid a partial government shutdown. Democrats can allow passage of a bill they believe gives President Trump vast discretion on spending decisions, or they can vote no and let funding lapse. Senator Chuck Schumer said Democrats really didn't have a choice because a shutdown would have far worse consequences for Americans. The legislation would fund the federal government through the end of September.
Hamas agrees to release American-Israeli hostage Idan Alexander, as well as the bodies of 4 deceased hostages. CBS's Inuseh Rami tells the story from Tel Aviv.
The office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu here said that Israel has accepted a proposal. That proposal is from Steve Witkoff, and that calls for the release of 5 living hostages, 9 dead hostages, and then a 50-day extension of that ceasefire. But Hamas just may be agreeing to a different proposal from Adam Buehler, and that's Trump's hostage envoy. He met directly with Hamas last week, and they specifically talked about first releasing the Americans, then releasing the other Israeli hostages later on.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Friday, looking up here. The Dow is up nearly 600 points at 41,400. NASDAQ is up nearly 400 points at 17.7. S&P 500 up over 100 points at 56.23. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Stay close. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Save up to 50% on the project, then save so much more on your energy costs. Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Apply for multiple generous rebate programs that can cut the cost of home insulation in half. Jeff and his team perform an energy audit to help you qualify. Then the project, filling your walls with quieting, filtering, insulating foam that saves you money on heating and cooling from day one. USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Good news for Brewers starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff. He's penciled in to make his Cactus League debut against the Guardians on Sunday. Woodruff missed all last season with a shoulder injury. Brewers take on the Giants this afternoon. We've got it for you. Coverage begins at 3 o'clock on WTMJ. College basketball, Marquette takes on 6th-ranked St. John's tonight in the semifinals of the Big East tournament. St. John's beat Marquette on a buzzer beater in Milwaukee less than a week ago.
They've won this league. They're playing on their home floor. They're playing with a lot of confidence. We're grateful, man, for this opportunity to stay here, walk up that tunnel again.
Golden Eagles head coach Shaka Smart. Tip-off scheduled for 5:30. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN. And the Wisconsin Badgers take on UCLA this afternoon in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament. It's supposed to begin about 1:30. It will start about 20 minutes after the game between Oregon and Michigan State, which has just begun from Indianapolis. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. No big crashes. That's great news on this Friday. We do have a couple disabled vehicles out on the system, including one in Milwaukee County that just happened a couple of minutes ago here. And I want to let you know about this one because it's a big semi that's broken down. It's off to the road, so it does tend to have people slow down because of that. It's on 41, 43, 894 West at the ramp from 27th Street North. Right shoulder is blocked because of a semi that's broken down right now.
Partly cloudy, windy, and warm today with a high of 74 degrees inland, 64 near the lake. Those wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Watch out tonight. Thunderstorms possible. We'll get that dialed in with Tyler Moore, TMJ4 meteorologist, coming up in about 15 minutes. Showers and storms likely tonight, a low of 50. Saturday, very windy, isolated shower, mainly in the morning, high of 61, but those wind gusts, again, up to 45 miles an hour. Sunday, big-time cool-off with a high of just 41. 54. Sun is shining in Milwaukee at 11:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Not to be left out in the world of sports, big day in Green Bay. You've got the semifinals of the girls' high school basketball tournament going on. Division 1 and 2 will play today. Some local teams in the mix with Arrowhead taking on Muskego. And then you've got Wauwatosa East playing West De Pere in the Division 2 semifinals. So good luck to everybody participating. It's always a fun time of year with the boys and girls tournaments happening in Madison and Green Bay, respectively.
So many good games happening. The Bucks won a big one last night. The sun is shining. The St. Patrick's Day Parade is tomorrow in downtown Milwaukee. I mean, come on. It's all looking up.
This is why we like March and why we don't like February. The month of anticipation has flipped, and now things are starting to happen.
February is a little rough. I'll give you that.
Kind of drags on. It's 11:10. Some big stories that we're following here on a Friday.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1 school reopens, now more are set to close. The first Milwaukee public school that was closed because of lead hazards, Trowbridge and Bayview, reopened today after nearly 2 weeks. Now 3 additional Milwaukee public schools will close temporarily starting Monday. The Milwaukee Health Department discovered lead issues this week at Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori School, and La Follette School. Cleaning and remediation is necessary at this point. Students at the 3 schools are encouraged to attend a lead screening clinic the Milwaukee Health Department is holding tomorrow.
New details in the case of a missing University of Pittsburgh student. 20-year-old Sadiska Kornanki was last seen walking on the beaches of Punta Cana outside the resort. She and a group of friends were staying. This happened very early morning on March 5th, with a 24-year-old male considered to be a person of interest. That person, Joshua Reby, is speaking out. Reby says the two were hit by a massive wave in the wee hours of the morning.
Sources tell us that in front of his 2 lawyers, he told authorities that he tried to save her and thought she was okay before he passed out on the beach.
That's ABC's Ariel Reshef. The international police agency Interpol is also involved in the search for Kornanki. President of the Dominican Republic has ordered a thorough investigation, which sources say could take up to 6 months. And Reby is cooperating by all accounts. Of course, American officials are involved in this as well, but the body is not yet turned up for this 20-year-old missing University of Pittsburgh student.
Number 3, recruiting numbers are up. That's the word today from the 2 largest military branches. They say recruiting numbers have been increasing since last October. ABC's Brian Clark has the details.
The Army and the Navy say they're on pace to exceed their annual recruiting targets. The Army's Vice Chief of Staff told a congressional hearing the Army's already signed up close to 73% of its yearly goal of 61,000 recruits. The Navy says new contracted sailors increased by 4,000 compared to last year in the first quarter. Army and Navy leaders have not identified one specific cause, but both branches have introduced prep courses that could be boosting recruiting numbers. Brian Clark, ABC News.
This is a big deal, and I remember about a year ago, there was a story out there that they were struggling with recruiting. Remember that? I was like, this is a big deal, because when you can't fill those spots, but Army data shows the Army has struggled with recruiting numbers since COVID, including a shortfall of 15,000 recruits in 2022. 15,000. So this is good news. Numbers up from the Army and the Navy.
It's changed. I remember the days of somebody from an Army recruiting office coming around just knocking at your door, right? They'd start walking around subdivisions. They'd have a list of high school juniors, seniors to be, and spend the summer walking around. There would be recruitment offices in strip malls next to movie theaters,
yes, I remember
right?
that.
All that kind of stuff. They've really had to change it here and be more forward-facing, kind of live in the space that these teenagers are living, and they're doing a good job. They've definitely seen an uptick, which is good news. It's 11:13 on WTMJ. What will the weather bring us this evening? What is the threat level for severe storms? Where are we on the line? And does it matter where you live here in southeastern Wisconsin? We'll get it all dialed in after this.
Spanning the State with Kristen Bry.
This is a terrible bill. This would probably disproportionately affect Republican women. This is a slippery slope if you start making it harder for women to vote, because there's enough people out there who would rather we didn't.
And Brian Noonan.
Say women were in charge, and this was going for men. Men would take to the streets. Any group that votes against their own self-interest baffles me.
Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. only on WTMJ.
Hey, it's Greg Matzek. I want to tell you about my friends at Siding Unlimited. Boy, what a great time of year to get outside, see what's going on, see what the winter did to your house. Take some pictures, bring them out to Siding Unlimited. If you're having issues with your windows, doors, roofing, siding, really anything on the exterior of your home, bring those ideas and thoughts to Siding Unlimited. They'll come up with a solution, and they'll present you with the best installation team you are going to find. And I mean that. This is pretty big stuff here. Pella has once again recognized Siding Unlimited in Brookfield as their Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year. It's the 5th time that Siding Unlimited has received this national award. That is impressive. Why work with anyone else? A lot of places have great products, but if it's not installed properly, you're kind of back to square one. Not the case with Siding Unlimited. They stand by their work. They've done a number of projects for us. They'll do the same for you. Visit them in Brookfield or online at sidingunlimited.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are joined by Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Windy and warm today, 74, your high inland 64 near the lake. Wind is going to pick up a little bit and certainly be the case tomorrow. Don't know if we have a wind advisory yet for tomorrow, and I'm not sure exactly how severe those storms could be tonight, but that is why we have Tyler Moore, TMJ4 meteorologist. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Doing great here. What are we looking at here tonight? Looks like a pretty nice day, windy, breezy, all that, good stuff, but then later tonight, what are we contending with?
Oh, yeah, beautiful day. I mean, it's already pretty nice out there right now. I was just looking at some of the latest surface observations. We got some 40s near the lake, but already some upper 60s inland. So, yeah, places are climbing pretty good away from the lake. And then, yeah, we kind of flip the table here tonight as a storm system rolls in. So it's all part of a very strong low pressure that's moving from the Rockies just off to our west, and it's going to intensify throughout the day. That's going to pull that breezy wind out of the southeast, which is why lakeside stays cooler. Inland spots will warm up, but that will give us the energy for those storms as we head into this evening.
So, Tyler, what's the timing of these storms, and what are you most concerned about?
Yeah, really highlighting a 4-hour window, so a pretty quick time frame. We're talking 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. for the best chance for those storms. Closer to 10 p.m. off for some of our western counties, the Milwaukee metro area probably closer to midnight, 1 a.m., and then wrapping up by 2, 3 in the morning. So it is going to be a line of showers and storms that rolls in tonight. The good news is it will start to weaken as it approaches. Lake Michigan actually helps us out with that severe weather potential and dropping it because of the limited instability that can develop when you got cooler temperatures from the lake. So we'll look at that coming into play tonight, but really looking at straight line winds being the biggest threat with this line of storms. We're not really looking at a massive severe weather threat, but there is the chance these storms could be strong enough, producing wind gusts near 50, maybe 60 miles per hour. And once again, the highest chances for that will be to the south and west of Milwaukee, out towards Jefferson County, down towards Rock County, Walworth County, probably seeing the best chances for any stronger storms before it does start to weaken as it rolls in.
So, Tyler, if the threat of this system passing through was more like between noon and 4, do you think that severe threat level would increase? Is there something to it being decreased in the overnight hours?
Yeah, absolutely. You lose daytime heating, so that's one of the factors, is how much energy is still hanging in the atmosphere. So we see that kind of the peak of that early to mid-afternoon hours, and they can hang around through the evening hours. But once you get deeper into the nighttime hours, definitely this early in spring, you tend to lose a lot of the energy, a lot of the ingredients that you need for some of those severe storms. That's why there's actually a level 4 out of 5 risk for severe weather down into Iowa, parts of Illinois, even into Missouri. So just down to our southwest, they have a much higher chance for even several tornadoes, some really bad damaging winds, and some large hail. We're just kind of on the edge of the ingredients and the leftovers of really what's highlighted to be a pretty big threat for severe weather down to our southwest.
I was just going to ask about weather across the country, because isn't it like some 24 at least states that could see a tornado outbreak?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking today and tomorrow, probably the first big severe weather outbreak of this spring. So first it'll be today, kind of Iowa, St. Louis, down even towards parts of Arkansas and Tennessee. And then that threat will shift a little bit further down to the south and east, closer towards the deep south as we head into tomorrow. So it is kind of a multi-day event that we are looking at. And yeah, it does include the risk for tornadoes and also some longer, stronger, long-lived tornadoes. So it's something that we'll be watching carefully, and hopefully things stay pretty quiet for tonight, and the forecast is wrong down to the folks to our south.
So if you can't take us through the next 5 days, it looks like we're all over the place here temperature-wise.
Yeah, it's that spring roller coaster that we always talk about this time of year. So today, obviously, like you mentioned, we got 60s closer to the lake, even some spots only getting into the 50s, 70s inland. Plenty of sunshine for today with those breezy winds. Tonight, as we go through the overnight hours, those storms roll in, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Watch out for some gusty winds. Pretty mild throughout tonight, low temperature only near 50. Then on Saturday, earlier in the week, this was looking like it could be a rainier Saturday. I know there's a lot of parades going on. So the good news is we are trending drier for Saturday, which is good, but it will be windy. We're talking wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, so a very breezy Saturday. Definitely hold on to any of your St. Patrick's Day decorations that you got with you. Sunday, the temperatures kind of drop, and they're going to drop quickly. So we're going from about 60 for a high on Saturday into the upper 30s and lower 40s on Sunday, maybe even the chance for a couple flurries to mix into the forecast on Sunday on the backside of the system. And then we warm back up. Monday, mostly sunny, high temperatures in the 50s, and to close out the 5-day, we got another 60-degree day. 60 on Tuesday with partly cloudy skies. So kind of bookending a little bit of a cool period there with some warm temperatures today and next Tuesday.
So tomorrow for the big St. Patrick's Day parade in downtown Milwaukee, all the Irish curls are going to be blowing in the wind. And if you have a green scarf on, it's going to be like, woo, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. At least it's dry. 50s for temperatures, too, throughout the mid-morning until up about lunchtime. So, temperatures are not bad for this time of year. Average high should only in the low to mid-40s. So, yeah, 50s and breezy, we can take that. We've dealt with worse for St. Patrick's Day celebrations.
Good stuff. TMJ4's Tyler Moore. Appreciate it, Tyler. We'll check in again next week.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, have a great weekend. Thank you, guys.
11:21 on this Pi Day, March the 14th.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. With the trending spring and summer European travel season, Fox European experts mean you can maximize your time soaking up the warm weather, blooming flowers, and vibrant landscapes without worrying about your travel or missing a moment. Port hop along the Mediterranean with Viking or Princess, or design your own bucket list adventure with Insight Vacations. Visit us online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Your European immersion awaits.
Hey, Greg Matzek here. It's going to be a big weekend at the Hounds and Tap. The weather's going to be pretty good. You should head over. Bring the dog. Get outside a little bit. Enjoy when the weather is nice. They've got great food trucks arriving at the Hounds and Tap. You can catch an ice cold drink, watch a game. They've got an indoor-outdoor tavern. So what is this magical place, right? It's built for dogs, designed for dogs, but humans have a lot of fun as well. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls, and it's your go-to place for grooming services for your dog, boarding, daycare, you name it. In fact, we got to get our dog's nails trimmed. They do a great job at the Hounds and Tap. Our dog Knight loves going there. Pretty close to our house. Nice and convenient as well. Food trucks, bingo, fundraisers, and more. Every Sunday is a family day, so you can bring the kids out with the dog and just hang out and enjoy an afternoon at the Hounds and Tap. Designed for dogs, wonderful people who are expertly trained in how to handle your animal. Check out the Facebook page. The Hounds and Tap is a wonderful Facebook page. You'll see dozens of pictures of happy pups going through boarding and daycare. It's the Hounds and Tap. Learn more about their services. Get signed up. Visit thehoundsandtap.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Well, happy Friday. Happy March 14th. Hope you're grooving into your weekend here.
It's a fun song.
It's a special day on the calendar as well, especially if you like to eat and count.
Pastry and math lovers, rejoice.
Yeehaw!
Get ready to get your nerd on. It's Pi Day. What, you say? Why, it's March 14th. 314? 3.141592653. It's that pi. We've learned it in school. We all know it's a crazy number, but really, what is it?
Pi is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter of any circle. Circumference is pi times the diameter.
Teaching associate professor in the mathematics department of Marquette University, Dr. Carl Mueller, says it's a number that's always been around.
Oh, it goes way back, way back. Greek mathematics, I think, might have been when it started. And it's actually a fairly straightforward fact that the circumference and the diameter of a circle always have the same ratio. And it was across cultures, and not necessarily where one person discovered it and shared it with somebody else. It was something that was there to be discovered and understood.
But what do we need it for?
Pi is used for a lot of mathematical formulas, even things that don't seem to include circles. There are probability questions that use pi. It is important for things like if you want to get a spacecraft to Mars, you're going to need to know pi so that you can aim it correctly. But the number of digits that you need is surprisingly small. Computers use 15 decimal places after the 3, but it's more than enough to get you to Mars and land exactly where you want to land. If you use just those 16 digits, counting the 3, and you calculate the circumference of the Earth at the equator, because you've rounded off a little bit, you'll be off by about the width of a molecule.
Pretty neat, huh? Now, pi is what's known as an irrational number, a number that can't be written as a simple fraction, and in its decimal form, it doesn't end. Ever. It has an infinite number of digits after the decimal point. Those digits also don't repeat, so no 5 5s or 3 3s. Each digit is different one to the next. There are people who dedicate themselves to memorizing pi, like Dr. Carl. He's got way more than needed.
It's about 130 now, I think. It might be 140. The first 100 are burned into my brain. I learned those the summer between 7th and 8th grade, and they are just burned into my brain the way the alphabet's burned into your brain.
Pretty cool trick for a bar bet. And as of 2023, mathematicians and computer scientists have been able to calculate it out to over 100 trillion digits. We'll never really need all those, but it's a thing. It's even in the Guinness Book of World Records. And how does a self-respecting mathematician celebrate this most auspicious day?
I don't know that there's a whole lot of celebrating other than probably eating some pies. I mean, that has become a thing now, the eating of pies on Pi Day. I mean, any excuse to talk about pie, any excuse to eat pies, I mean, it all kind of ties together.
Ah, yes, the other kind of pie. Well, I spoke with Mr. Tighe himself, owner and baker at Mr. Tighe's Pies right here in the 3rd Street Market Hall. He says this is a big day.
We've been blessed to have a lot of pie days during the year. This is the biggest one. There's 2 national pie days, and this one is the biggest one. So we definitely see an uptick in orders and interest and the phone ringing, and we do expect a lot of traffic.
2, 3, 8, yes, 4, 6. We know what pie is, but what is pie with an E? Well, according to Mr. Tighe,
a pie has to have some crust. It doesn't necessarily have to be round, but you got to get some crust going. There's some pies that would have a crust on top and on the bottom. We also started doing a ground beef pasty. So with the ground beef onions, so it's more savory, and that's definitely a pie as well.
Aha, so it doesn't need to be sweet. Interesting. And now I'm hungry. 9, so before I eat this microphone, I'm going to go head out and get me some pie and see how far I can memorize pie. Happy Pie Day, everybody. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Yeah, thanks. You too, Deb. Well, pi is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. As soon as that was introduced in math, I was pretty much done.
3.14, that's all I remember.
Yeah, I think it's
I feel
a
like that's all I need to know.
Really, I believe you are right.
3.14.
11:28. Thanks, Deb. News coming up.
We have an exciting giveaway this week on Spanning the State.
One fan will win 2 front row tickets to see the Beach Boys coming to the Riverside Theater Friday, May 23rd.
Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
With timeless songs that shaped music history, they continue to inspire generations.
Experience the music, the magic, the good vibrations. The Beach Boys are still making waves.
Win 2 front row tickets to the Beach Boys coming to Riverside Theater May 23rd. Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
A Friday Lent fish fry is a family tradition. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Take your family to the amazing Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford today for their all-you-can-eat Lenten fish fry, just $7.99. You don't need to pay $16 or more. Your Mind Chef fish fry is $7.99. It's all you can eat, and it's delicious. Relax with a sweet old-fashioned, a glass of wine, and ice-cold beer. And there's a kids menu that starts at $3.99. Those kids can safely play in the world-class game room quietly set aside from the dining area while you finish up. Wherever you live, it's worth a drive to the Mine Shaft today for your Friday all-you-can-eat Lent fish fry, just $7.99. Wow. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating and close parking. And the Sunday brunch is all you can eat. It's a feast. It's under $15. Make a quick call and reserve your $7.99 fish fry. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, March 14th. Your top story, staying safe after a chemical spill.
I'm Jessica Tighe. An effort to stop reckless driving is on the road to the Senate.
Windy and warm today, 74 your high inland, 64 near the lake. Tonight, showers and storms are likely.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Senate set to vote on the House-passed bill to extend funding the government through September. Democrats debated this week whether to oppose the bill, saying it does not offer protections for jobs or key programs like Medicaid. But now Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he's backing the bill because a no vote would give President Trump and DOJ more power to carry out cuts if the government closes. GOP leader John Thune agreeing, but also blamed Democrats for needing the extension.
To be clear, Republicans aren't thrilled about another CR. But it is our best option to make sure that last year's failure by Democrats doesn't interfere with this year's appropriations process.
The shutdown deadline, midnight. The Education Department announcing over 50 universities are being investigated for alleged racial discrimination. It's all part of the president's campaign to end diversity and equity programs at higher education institutions. And if the skies were clear overhead, you got to see the lunar eclipse or blood moon overnight. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 11:31. One person is in the hospital after a chemical spill in Waunakee. The spill reported just after 1:30 this morning near Uniacke Drive and Ramish Road. Chemicals started leaking after they came into contact with the bumper of a trailer, creating toxic fumes and heat about 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The spill has been contained, no danger to the public, but the Madison Fire Hazard Incident Team set up a 300-foot safety perimeter as the investigation continues.
A bizarre stabbing story out of Milwaukee. Police say a Turkish national was living in an apartment with the body of his dead girlfriend for 20 days.
22-year-old Sirkan Achilad faces one charge of first-degree reckless homicide for the death of Silan Tut. Achilad reported her death to police on February 27th, arriving at the police administration building with a nail in his head after attempting suicide with a nail gun. Police found Tut's body with 12 stab wounds and traces of blood and cleaning supplies across the apartment. Achilad denies killing his girlfriend or trying to cover up her death. He's in custody on a $1 million bond and due back in court Wednesday. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Well, finally in custody after a Madison mall shooting. 28-year-old Devontae Anthony arrested in Kalamazoo, Michigan by U.S. Marshals Tuesday morning. Surveillance video showed two people near a cell phone store arguing when Anthony pulled out a gun and fired a single shot across a hallway at Westtown Mall. This happened on October 25th. Then everyone fled the scene by vehicle. One person was injured in that shooting.
A potential school violence threat against Whitnall School District. Hales Corners police seized multiple items Wednesday night after searching a home and vehicle near Allenwood Lane and Forest Home Avenue. A 54-year-old woman and a juvenile were detained for questioning.
A reckless driving bill is on its way to the Wisconsin Senate. Lawmakers in the Assembly overwhelmingly approving the measure, authored by Representative Bob Donovan.
No victim of a stolen vehicle will be forced to pay towing costs or to reclaim their property.
It also adds provisions to allow law enforcement to impound vehicles involved in reckless driving incidents, regardless of who owns the vehicle or if the suspect has a prior offense. The original bill, signed by Governor Tony Evers, focused on repeat offenders and increased fines for those charged.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News time is 11:34.
Hey, it's Lent. That's right. The Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous Friday Fish Fry at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds Fish Fry. It's all you can eat. It's one of the best, and it's always fantastic service. All other dinners are buy one, get one free tonight and this weekend. The pan-fried walleye, salmon, scallops, pasta, a big fresh salad, even steak and lobster, your second dinner's free. Desserts and huge ice cream drinks, I love the Brandy Alexanders, are buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, there's over 20 bourbons and 100 fine wines, unique dining rooms with fireplaces. The Fox and Hound sits in the Kettle Moraine Forest. The scenery is spectacular. It's a Wisconsin must-see, and your second dinner's free. Saturday, your second prime rib dinner is free. So check out the Friday Lenten Fish Fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Call and reserve at one of my favorite spots, the Fox and Hounds.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Good news for Brewers starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff. He is scheduled to make a Cactus League start against the Guardians on Sunday. Woodruff missed all of last season with a shoulder injury. Brewers take on the Giants this afternoon. Coverage gets underway at 3 o'clock on WTMJ. Big day of college basketball. Marquette takes on 6th-ranked St. John's tonight in the semifinals of the Big East Tournament. 5:30 the tip. You can hear the game on 94.5 ESPN. And the Wisconsin Badgers hit the court this afternoon in Indianapolis. They'll take on UCLA in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten Tournament. That game will begin about 20 minutes after the game being played right now between Oregon and Michigan State. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. I have some great news on this Friday. The one disabled vehicle that was causing any problems, the big semi that was off to the side on 894 West at the ramp from 27th Street, that is out of there now, so that spot is cleared. No big crashes to let you know about. The only other thing we have on the big board right now is a disabled vehicle 4194 South at Rawson Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked because of that one, but traffic is moving along okay.
Warm and windy today, a high of 74 degrees, 63 are high if you're closer to the lake. Going to be windy, and storms are expected tonight. Some could be strong, a low of 50 degrees. Saturday, very windy, partly to mostly cloudy, isolated chance of a shower, and a high of 61. Sunday's high just 41, back into the mid-50s with sunny skies. A little warmer on Monday with a high of 53. 54 and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:37. Everybody's Irish on March 17th, right? St. Patrick's Day is Monday. Of course, the city of Milwaukee will be revealing its latest and greatest parade, the Irish Fest Parade, if you want to call it that. Shamrock Shuffle. We had that last weekend in Milwaukee, and the 57th Shamrock Club of Wisconsin will have their St. Patrick's Day Parade returning to downtown this weekend. All sorts of ways to explore and celebrate everything Irish. And we do it today with Mike Boyle, who's the parade director, heads up the Shamrock Club. It's a big weekend here.
It is indeed. Good morning.
Great to have you here. So,
thank you.
This has been going on for a number of years, and anybody who's been downtown for a St. Patrick's Day parade has really enjoyed it, both the before, during, and after the parade. What is the route this year? Any changes to that from years past?
We have stayed with the same route for a couple of years. We start out at the front door here of the avenue, the 3rd Street Market Hall at MLK and Wisconsin. We go east towards Moe's Irish Pub and make a big left-hand turn onto Plankington. scoot up north to Kilbourne, make a little bit jog west, and we pick up MLK Drive again through the Third Ward, the old 3rd Street entertainment district, some pubs and some stuff there. Up to Juneau Avenue, we cross the river on Juneau eastbound, and we go past the Harp and the Trinity 3 Irish pubs, and then take a right-hand turn and finish up over on Water Avenue. About 1.25 miles altogether.
I love the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Milwaukee. I go to it all the time. I've been in it a couple times. What's the history of the parade here in our city, and how do you keep it going? Because when it comes to parade, we have seen some parades fold around communities across the country, and even, the Christmas parade here.
We are one of the few parades that still takes place in downtown Milwaukee. As you mentioned, the holiday parade, the Christmas parade died a couple of years ago. There still is a Labor Day parade, and there's a Veterans Day parade, about the only ones left. How do we keep it up? A lot of hard work and a lot of loyal people and a lot of people who enjoy celebrating St. Patrick's Day. The history of celebrations in Milwaukee goes back all the way to 1843. There was a one-and-done parade that was organized actually by a priest, a Swiss priest by the name of Father Martin Kundig. He found out that the Catholic bishops were meeting that spring in Baltimore to cite a new diocesan seat. And you have to know that in 1843, Green Bay, with its big natural harbor and closer to the top of the lake, was a bigger city, and Prairie du Chien out on the river, out on Mississippi, were bigger cities. But Father Martin was just bound to determine that the archdiocese, or the diocese at that time, should be here in Milwaukee. He won. He put together a parade, made sure there was a big write-up, made sure that copies of the Milwaukee Sentinel of the Day were sent to Baltimore. After that, it kind of died out. There were celebrations, dinners, little fundraisers for some of the Irish freedom fighters. The Shamrock Club of Wisconsin was chartered in March of 1960. So this is our 65th anniversary of a club. In 1967, we said it was about time we had a parade back here in Milwaukee. So we've been doing it since 67.
Well, you're having a press event here in just a few minutes at the 3rd Street Market Hall. You mentioned kind of the kickoff point for the parade. There's also a kickoff party this
there
evening,
is indeed.
right? That's the beauty of St. Patrick's Day. It just kind of keeps rolling on, right?
It's kind of like a Jewish holiday. It's not just one day. It's a season, a green season. We've been partying since the 1st of March. There have been events all around town.
Sláinte.
Sláinte Joe, to your health. We start out this evening with the Shamrock pre-parade party sponsored by our partners at Westtown Association. That's at the Lucky Clover Pub over on MLK Drive. Tomorrow morning, we start the parade day, with a Catholic Mass at St. Patrick's Parish at 7th and Washington on the south side. Mass in honor of St. Patrick. Bagpipe music, a choir. The readings from the Mass will be done in both Gaelic and English. It's just a marvelous event. Our parade kicks off at noon, as I said, right here in front of the Grand Avenue. Afterwards, the Shamrock Club hosts a post-parade party at the Irish Cultural and Heritage Center on 21st in Wisconsin. 5 different Irish dance schools will be dance schools, because there's a Scottish one in there as well. Sorry. 5 dance schools will be performing music, beverages, of course, food. Admission for that is $10 a person, although there is a $25 max per family. So, instead of paying for 3 at $10, you get it for $25. Kids 12 and under are free for that.
And who's showcased in the parade this year? Who can we expect to see and wave to and say woohoo as they go by?
One of my jobs is to try and highlight the Irish community, to show people what this community is all about. So we do have all 8 schools in Milwaukee of Irish dance in the parade. We have bagpipe bands. We have the different Irish organizations. Of course, Irish Fest, you mentioned Irish Fest mistakenly. It's not an Irish Fest parade, but we do invite them. Couple of the neat things we're doing is Tom Barrett, former mayor, former congressman, and most recently ambassador to Luxembourg, is back in Milwaukee. We've invited him to appear in the parade as our honored guest, so we'll be saluting him.
Will he be in his Buick that he had to have shipped back over? We had him here in Wisconsin's Midday News as soon as he came back. It was great to catch up, but he said his Buick was being shipped over.
I've got a Jeep club. I've got a Jeep club supplying cars for our dignitaries. The Milwaukee Jeep Renegades will be there. We are also saluting the Milwaukee Fire Department on their 150th anniversary. They were created in 1845. And one of the neat things I always mention, there's been a band with us for a couple of years on and off called the DB Orchestra. They're out of Madison in the western part of the state, and they're kind of a New Orleans backline marching sort of a thing. My friend Andrew, the director, couldn't get the band itself together, but he said, I'll get you something. And he contacted me a couple of weeks later and said, well, what we're going to do, we're going to call, all tubas. He's rounded up every tuba player he can find. So it may feel like a Badger game at Camp Randall as they do that little thing around. So a lot of fun for everybody.
Definitely is. Mike Boyle is a parade director, heads up the Shamrock Club here, St. Patty's Day Parade, kicking off downtown right outside our 3rd Street Market Hall. The years that I've been involved with the parade, either as a spectator, I think one year I rode through it here for WTMJ. It doesn't seem to matter what the conditions are. Everybody, people still want to be a part of this day and this parade. I think that is so unique, right? You might see a forecast and say, no, I don't know, it's not going to be that great. It doesn't seem to matter with the St. Patty's Day Parade.
As we mentioned, this is the 57th parade. This is my 37th parade, 39 years of being involved with the parade, director, reviewing stand announcer, a few other jobs. And in that time, I've seen everything. One of the last years we were up on North Avenue in Milwaukee and into Wauwatosa. It had 72 degrees by 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Nice.
On the other hand, 3 years ago here, it was 14 degrees at play. So I guess you have to be careful what you pray for, because I've been asking for a good weather for the parade for a couple of years now, and the big guy upstairs said, okay, I'll give you 57, 58, 60 degrees. But I'm going to pair it with 25-mile-an-hour winds gusting to maybe 40 or 45. So hang on to your hats, and I will have to make sure our kids that are carrying the flags and banners are well weighted down.
It is going to be a little windy, but it's going to be so much fun. Real quickly, since you have been involved for so many years with this parade, where do you think are the top spots to see it?
Got a handful of suggestions for you. The front entrance here of the 3rd Street Market Hall is where the parade begins. And being an old radio rat and put a bullhorn in my hand, not only am I directing the parade, calling people up, but I'm narrating it as well. So I'm kind of announcing what's coming down the street and telling you what it is. Our bar and restaurant partners are a good place. Moe's Irish Pub, along 3rd Street, there's always a big crowd there. I should mention that the reviewing stand is on Martin Luther King Drive, backed up to Pere Marquette Park, so between Kilburn and State. That's a good place because all the bands turn and face the reviewing stand and perform. So that's a good chance to get everybody performing. Then, of course, there's always a big crowd across the river near Trinity, 3 Irish Pubs, and the Harp.
That's where it gets a little rowdy.
Yeah, well, my advice, be close to, if you're going to have some fun afterwards, be close to that pub door, right? And be among the first to get in after the parade rolls by.
There's also bathrooms in there and beverages available, so that's a good thing.
Always a good thing. Hey, it's going to be a great event. It really is. 2025 St. Patty's Day Parade kicks off tomorrow. Noon kickoff here right outside 3rd Street Market Hall.
Yep.
Absolutely.
About a 1.25 mile route. So enjoy that. Mike Boyle, you'll hear his voice if you're among the parade route tomorrow. He is the parade director and heads up the Shamrock Club. Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much. Great to have you here.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
You too. It's 11:47 on WTMJ.
How would you like to own a jewelry store? Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy? Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people. Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now? Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email. Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's. A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Oh, lunchtime is right around the corner. Dinner is not too far off. Wondering what you're going to do? Well, I'm going to make it easy for you. Make it a Palermo's day or night, whatever you're looking for. Keep people happy in the household with Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza made for 60 years. That's right. The makers of frozen pizza for 60 years. Palermo's got a slice for every appetite. Connie's Urban Pie. I love the Screamin' Sicilian. Primo Thin is my wife's favorite. Try them all, and you'll discover a favorite of your own. Mix it up a little bit. Right now with Screamin' Sicilian, how about this? Buy one, get one. Buy one, get one free. Screamin' Sicilian favorites now through March 18th at your local Pick and Save and Metro Market stores. You taste what all the screaming is about. There's a reason. That's my personal favorite. Overflowing with toppings. And now you got a buy one, get one offer through March 18th at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores. Pick up a variety of different frozen pizzas made by Palermo's. Stock up the freezer. Put one in the oven tonight. I'm telling you, everybody's going to be happy. It is Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Windy and warm today, a high of 72 degrees inland, 62 if you're closer to the lake. Those wind gusts are going to pick up to 30 miles an hour, and storms are expected tonight. It's going to be more of a late night, overnight sort of thing, but storms likely with a low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow, very windy, partly to mostly cloudy. Chance of some isolated rain mainly in the morning and a high of 61, but again, wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour. We cool off quite a bit on Sunday with a high of just 41. Monday's high 53. Tuesday, we are back in the 60s under partly cloudy skies. 56 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:51. Greg and Jessica with you. It's Wisconsin's Midday News. Hope your Friday is going great. Judges dig in during a debate. More Milwaukee schools set to shut down temporarily. Flames on the Colorado Plain and more. All part of the Weekend Review. And it's brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
This is really a cornerstone of Milwaukee's LGBTQ plus community. Closed its doors abruptly.
It's the oldest gay bar in Wisconsin, one of the oldest in the country. For that space to just overnight be inaccessible to everyone is world-shattering.
President Trump was notably out of sight Monday. No public events and no comment on the plunge on Wall Street.
I think this country is going to boom, but as I said, I can do it the easy way or the hard way.
Remain calm. All is well.
On a day where the NASDAQ was down some 4%, S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrials down more than 2% in trading on Monday.
Alec Wands wrote Resilience Beyond Duty after talking with public safety professionals for his podcast, The Chief Exchange.
They said if you write a book for a population like us, it either has to be really short and or have pictures. Oh. And I am horrible at drawing.
I can't read.
New 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel are set to go into effect.
Ontario's Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, Vic Fideli.
Not all of Canada, just Ontario, is the largest customer for 17 U.S. states.
School resource officer training underway this week for 38 Milwaukee cops.
We're there to make sure these students' learning environment is safe for them to learn in.
Milwaukee Bucks player, franchise minority owner, Junior Bridgman, he has died.
The word gentleman is like gentleman. That is as good as you can get with Junior.
A lot of people don't know this, but I've patterned my whole business acumen after Junior Bridgman. This one really hit hard for me.
He was a complete team player and one heck of a basketball player.
Sing us a song, you're the piano mine.
It's one of 8 concerts being postponed as the 75-year-old Joel recovers from recent surgery.
Here comes the inbound pass. Nembhard gets it to Halliburton. Off balance. The three. He hits it with a foul. You have got to be kidding me.
I gotta stop taking my baths during
Tyrese Halliburton
shenanigans.
The first and only televised debate between the two candidates for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Almost 50% of my opponent's donors can't vote in the state of Wisconsin because they don't reside here.
I have support from all over the country, and it is because Elon Schimmel is trying to buy this race.
I am become meme.
Kegel's Inn. You've driven by it on National Avenue in West Dallas. 100 years strong. My guest in this WTMJ studio, Julian Kegel, 4th generation owner.
It is one of the most classic institutions that we have left in this state.
The new interim city of Madison clerk fully confident the April 1st election will run smoothly as an investigation continues into 193 uncounted absentee ballots found after the 2024 presidential election.
I'm confident that we will be in good shape.
One door opens, 3 more close in Milwaukee. 3 additional schools closing temporarily due to possible lead dust contamination.
We're going to be really working and focusing on those schools as we continue to engage in this work.
Another aviation incident in the U.S., this time in Colorado.
Everyone started screaming. Everybody's kind of pushing to get out of the plane.
A major thoroughfare in Austin, Texas, still closed this morning after a deadly pileup overnight.
Smashed up cars, trucks, and at least one tractor-trailer rig were scattered across Interstate 35 when first responders arrived.
5 patients have been pronounced deceased on the scene.
Did you see it?
This was like by no means as big as the total solar eclipse.
Bigger.
Lunar eclipse never as cool anyway. I told you I wasn't getting up for it.
No, I thought we had agreed.
We did not agree. You agreed that you were going to wake me up.
Hi, this is Vince. Leave a message.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look how cool that is. Oh, it's like the perfect conclusion to our new lives.
What a week, eh?
Pew, 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 pew.
Elon Schimmel.
I'll let you, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Now, Adam Roberts always does a great job with it. It's the Weekend Review, and it's brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. I'm trying to do the tag here, chewing on a piece of ice. It's a terrible idea.
I'm right here. I always offer to do the tag.
Okay.
You just wanted to
You were typing. You were getting ahead.
I'm always typing. I'm always doing something.
All right, we'll continue chewing ice through the break.
You just wanted to see what it sounded like.
Not good.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
Clearly, Pride Fest has benefited from organizations who want to show their commitment to diversity.
Entertainment.
It's real-life drama. I would also call it true crime. It is just such a bizarre story.
And more.
We're able to tap about 400 trees and make some delicious maple syrup.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors. Grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Froedtert.com to find out how.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, March 14th. Your top story, officer charged with aiding a convicted felon.
I'm Jessica Tighe. Could the state withhold funding over the lack of student resource officers?
Partly cloudy, windy and warm today. Storms expected at night, a high of 74 degrees inland, 64 your high near the lake. And those showers could be strong this evening, an overnight low of 50. It is 56. Sun is shining in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, a Milwaukee police officer is facing federal charges for using his position in law enforcement to aid a convicted felon. Juwan Madlock is accused of using police databases to provide confidential information to a known member of the Burleigh Zoo family, a violent local street gang. MPD says Matlock has resigned from District 6 and that they are fully cooperating with the FBI's investigation.
Allegations of sexual abuse and human trafficking on Milwaukee's west side.
Inside the home in the city's historic Concordia neighborhood, Austin Chronister is alleged to have held multiple women against their will, requiring them to sign a contract and wear a collar at all times. A criminal complaint notes at least one woman was told by Chronister she must change her last name to St. Pierre and that he threatened to inject her with a harmful substance. The complaint notes the women inside the home all had the same tattoo of a beetle holding a poppy flower and were assigned slave numbers. Chronister is in custody, but bail has not yet been set. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The judiciary has threatened contempt of court and fines if school resource officers don't return to Milwaukee Public Schools by Saturday. Now the state legislature is 2 steps away from enforcing its own penalties. Representative Bob Donovan offered a bill that would withhold 10% of state funding for Milwaukee and 20% of school aid payments for MPS.
Any law that's passed that doesn't have consequences for breaking that law isn't worth the paper it's printed on. And the city of Milwaukee and MPS have proven my point.
The bill passed in the Assembly, now goes to the Senate and subsequently Governor Tony Evers.
President Trump had an optimistic outlook to ending the war in Ukraine following White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff's talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
President Trump says the U.S. had, quote, very good and productive discussions with Russian President Vladimir Putin yesterday. In a Truth Social post, Trump suggested there is, quote, a very good chance the war between Russia and Ukraine can come to an end, but noted there remain some concerns. The talks with Russia follow the United States and Ukraine working out a ceasefire agreement earlier this week. Putin said Thursday Russia is for the proposed 30-day ceasefire, but suggested additional negotiations were needed. Molly Nagel, ABC News, the White House.
Russia has not yet agreed to a proposed 30-day ceasefire.
Southeast Wisconsin's first major thunderstorms of the calendar year expected to roll through late tonight. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen tells Wisconsin's Morning News some of the storms could be on the strong side, but the timing of the storms' arrival could help keep some below severe limits.
When storms come through that late at night, the atmosphere is typically not as unstable as it is during the afternoon. So we'd be moving into a relative minimum in terms of severe weather threat.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
We have an exciting giveaway this week on Spanning the State.
One fan will win 2 front row tickets to see the Beach Boys coming to the Riverside Theater Friday, May 23rd.
Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
With timeless songs that shaped music history, they continue to inspire generations.
Experience the music, the magic, the good vibrations. The Beach Boys are still making waves.
Win 2 front row tickets to the Beach Boys coming to Riverside Theater May 23rd. Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
Finally home. What's wrong?
I'm tired of this old, beaten down, ugly garage door.
All right, it's not that bad.
Really? It's so old.
Yeah?
And it breaks all the time.
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
It's dirty, it's loud, it doesn't even close.
Give your old garage door new life. Get a new garage door from Lifetime Door Company. Register to win a free door plus free installation at WTMJ.com.
It doesn't even close and the track is dented.
Okay, you've made your point.
Look at the windows. They're busted.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Good news for Brewers starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff. He's penciled in to make his Cactus League debut against the Guardians on Sunday. Woodruff missed all of last season with a shoulder injury. Brewers take on the Giants this afternoon. Coverage gets underway at 3 o'clock on WTMJ. College basketball, Marquette takes on 6th-ranked St. John's tonight in the semifinals of the Big East tournament. St. John's in Milwaukee less than a week ago. They beat Marquette on a buzzer beater.
They've won this league. They're playing on their home floor. They're playing with a lot of confidence. We're grateful, man, for this opportunity to stay here, walk up that tunnel again.
That's Golden Eagles head coach Shaka Smart. Tip-off scheduled for 5:30. You can hear the game on 94.5 ESPN. And the Badgers take the floor in Indianapolis later this afternoon in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament. UCLA is the opponent. Game will begin about 20 minutes after the game that is currently airing. It's Oregon taking on Michigan State.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We're looking really good. The only thing we have up on the big board right now is one disabled vehicle. It's a semi. It's on 4194 South at Rawson Avenue. It has been out there for hours, though. This is a semi that at this point the driver's not in anymore. They need to get some help. It's a distraction for people. And there's plenty of traffic going by it, but the traffic is really not slowing down, not causing any problems. Good news there.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Rejuvenex.
Rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Can you play the Rejuvenex thing one more time? It's catchy. No?
It seemed like it had a little extra oomph in
a little
it
back-to-back
right there, too.
Yeah, that was nice.
Rejuvenate your life.
Weather is getting nicer. 74 your high today, 64 if you're closer to the lake. Windy, and expect rain later on. Some of it could get pretty severe, but there is a line for this, and given the late evening hours, you might have that reduced impact, perhaps, of severe weather. But could hear some rumbles of thunder. It's going to be windy and cooler tomorrow, with a high of 61 degrees, isolated shower mainly in the morning. 41 your high on Sunday, 53 your high on Monday, back up to 60 on Tuesday. 58 degrees, steady warm up here in Milwaukee under sunny skies, approaching 1209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
I think people are used to the temperatures, the wind kind of ripping around during the St. Patty's Day parade. I think it's going to be a great day tomorrow for the parade, and I don't think it matters if it's going to rain or not. And rain is in the forecast early, but it kicks off at noon right out here in front of the 3rd Street Market Hall. If you're coming down, you've got a day planned, and you're not going to let weather ruin your day at all.
No, the Irish are fun. They're hardy. They like to have the crack, as we call it, C-R-A-I-C. It's going to be a fun time.
Thank you for the clarification on that. It's 12:09. Some big stories that we're following here as we hit the noon hour on a Friday.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
More lead issues. 3 additional Milwaukee public schools will close temporarily starting Monday because of significant lead hazards. The Milwaukee Health Department discovered the issues this week. The 3 schools up next for closure: Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori School, and La Follette School. Remediation and cleaning is necessary at this point. The 3 schools are part of 10 schools. The Milwaukee Health Department is in the process of assessing this week as part of proactive visual assessments. The first school that was closed because of lead hazards, Trowbridge in Bayview, reopened today after nearly 2 weeks.
Well, it's looking like there won't be a partial shutdown at midnight. Details from ABC News senior political correspondent Rachel Scott. She's in Washington.
Senate Democrats reversing course. They were trying to block a Republican proposal in protest of President Trump, Elon Musk, and those sweeping cuts. But Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he will now vote to keep the government open, insisting that while these policies are bad, a government shutdown is worse, he says.
Schumer maintains the shutdown would, quote, be the best distraction Donald Trump could ask for in his awful agenda, closed quote. Nevertheless, you don't want to see a government shutdown. Deadlines tend to spur action. It looks like this one will be avoided.
If you haven't received a text message demanding payment for unpaid tolls, just wait. Smishing is only getting worse.
Smishing is a scam perpetrated by text message.
The toll one is very rampant.
Steve Grobman of cybersecurity firm McAfee says scammers posing as your local toll authority will text you a toll bill and a link to pay it by credit card.
And then the scammers can take that credit card number and use it for other purchases.
The basic rule: the toll authority, your phone company, the internet provider you use, do not bill by text message. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Even states like Wisconsin that don't charge drivers tolls have noticed an uptick. And I know Gina got one this morning. You got one last week.
Yeah, I mean, I was in Illinois, and I've got new license plate on a vehicle, so it's not yet registered with our iPass system. I keep forgetting to do it. So I did cruise through, and then but I paid my tolls online within a couple of days after, but I still got the text message. So I don't know if that's linked, like a trip to Illinois and going through without your iPass. I have no idea.
I think it's a fluke.
Maybe.
But it makes you wonder, and I guarantee it's catching people.
Well, cast a wide enough net. I mean, plenty of people are doing that. Plenty of people are cruising through the tolls without their iPads set up or not one at all.
I know I've gotten a handful of them. I don't think any this week, but definitely over, I'd say, the last 2 months. And I think it always says Easy Pass instead of iPass.
Yes, I think
which
you're
always
right.
makes me take note of it. Because same here, last weekend, we were down in Illinois for a family gathering. And so, yeah, all of a sudden you're like, wait, is this right? I mean, it makes people stop. But so now you know, don't click on it. It's a scam.
12:12 on WTMJ. We're keeping an eye on the rain. We'll have more updates throughout the day here on WTMJ, but it looks to be a late evening and maybe overnight hours event, but could hear some rumbles of thunder. So enjoy the day today. Windy and warm with a high of 74. It's 12:13.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
Spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. It's Greg Matzek here. I'm reminding you, connect with Geis. If you got an issue with your garage door, do not let that busted door get you down. Winter does weird things to garage doors. If you notice that, it doesn't close properly, it seems louder, whatever the case, it can do a toll, and Geis can help you out with solutions from CHI and LiftMasters. They've got doors and openers for every budget. They even have a custom design center. So if you have a custom project, you can rely on Geis to take care of it for you. Their showroom is located in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road, and they've got hundreds of doors and openers in stock. You'll be amazed. I was amazed. And it could mean a very quick turnaround time for your project. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, visit GeisDoors.com. Stop in the showroom like I did. And don't think twice. Call Geis. Visit GeisDoors.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Namaste.
Dan, what are you doing?
Shh, you're harshing my mellow. Join me in some breathing exercises to chase away the chaos.
Let's focus on our clients since we offer an exceptional way to control the chaos.
Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space.
And we don't over-design projects, sending you 3 beautiful designs to fit your price point.
Plus, our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Windy and warm today, a high of 74 degrees inland, 64 your high if you're closer to the lake. Wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. And storms expected late tonight into the overnight hours with a low of 50. Tomorrow, lingering isolated shower in the morning. We'll top out in the mid-50s. Got to be very windy, however, with gusts up to 45. Got to be chilly on Sunday with a high of just 41. 58 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12-16.
The NFL draft in Green Bay. It's just 41 days, 6 hours, and 43 minutes away. 45 seconds if you're being specific. But there's also another draft of a different kind on the docket. It's Titletown Tech's $1 million startup draft, a way for companies to support the next generation of innovators. Titletown Tech's managing partner, Craig Dickman, joins us live from Titletown to explain. Happy Friday, Craig.
Well, happy Friday to you, and thanks for letting me join you.
So what's the idea behind the startup draft, and how does it work?
Well, the focus behind it and why we're doing it is to find the best founders, best startup companies that are out there, certainly within our region, and try to give them a really national platform on which to show off what they're doing.
Well, and there's corporate partnership behind it as well, and some incredible innovation with the companies that you're having help support this. What do you expect to see from those who submit their best?
I think the thing that we're seeing, and it's really exciting because we've seen a number of great opportunities already. Just as a side note, applications close Sunday at midnight, so get them in if you're thinking about it. But we're seeing all kinds of things and new technologies from, computer vision and new ways to use AI, to seeing people solving really important problems in industries that matter to Wisconsin. And I think that's one of the things that makes it different and why the community of other corporations and investors come to see what's going on is we're seeing people who are solving real problems that make a difference in the industry in new ways. And that's always exciting to see how much we can impact the economy of this region by connecting it into the startup ecosystem.
Yeah, this is great. We've had a couple of startups with really cool ideas right here on Wisconsin's Midday News. So I actually texted a couple and said, hey, have you seen this? Check it out. The application to apply is Sunday. This draft connects startups with industry leaders. What are some of the big companies involved, and how do they help?
Well, what's interesting is when they come in as a startup, immediately we're connecting to people in the market. Companies that your listeners would know, like Kohler Company, companies like Aaron's up in Brilliant, who are making things, Green Bay Packaging, Schneider, Schreiber Foods, Right Height, Milwaukee Tool, JCI, really interesting companies. And if you're a founder, it's priceless to be able to sit down with people who could be your customer, who could give you real market feedback, and get that in an environment that's trusted. And that's one of the things the Packers and Microsoft really bring to the equation, is create an environment of trust. And then, of course, the fact that you're getting all of that feedback from potential customers, and at the same time competing to win a $1 million investment, competing to win $350,000 of compute from Microsoft, and for a chance to go through the co-innovation lab we have at UW-Milwaukee is really a unique opportunity for a young company.
I love the collaboration behind this, because you're talking about incredible innovators with Milwaukee Tool and Microsoft, whom the Packers have partnered with Titletown Tech. Anything from healthcare. It's all over the board here. But I would imagine, to some degree, even these incredibly bright minds and engineers that are heading up some of these companies have their eyes open by the submissions.
Oh, absolutely have their eyes open. It's always exciting when you see somebody who's presenting a solution to a problem that the company has, but they haven't figured out a way to solve that problem. And what's really interesting is sometimes it's fresh eyes and just creative people identifying a new way to solve something. And sometimes it's looking at this incredible kind of emerging technology that's going on now, where all of a sudden AI can solve something that couldn't before, or a new breakthrough in material science, or a new way to use computer vision. You know, as an example, a company in Delafield, Rake Labs, that we've already invested in, is got probably the world's leading technology on finding anything in image, video, or geospatial data with unlabeled and untrained models. And you're seeing real innovators come out of the Wisconsin market. And if you're a company out there that's doing great things, you may be an industry leader, but you might find something that these startups are doing that can take it, even what you're doing, to a new level.
We're talking with managing partner of Titletown Tech, Craig Dickman, about the $1 million startup draft. I know this has already attracted hundreds of startups from around the country. What will the finalists get? And is part of this like a Shark Tank-like experience where they pitch it?
Well, what's different is they will definitely be pitching it in the startup combine. So the first 5 to 10 companies that we think are the most interesting will be invited to Green Bay for a startup combine on April 3rd and 4th. There they will pitch what they're doing. But unlike Shark Tank, where they present to investors, and unlike kind of that attitude you get in Silicon Valley, you're going to find them pitching to companies who could become their customers, to the market. We always prioritize that collaborative marketplace that we were discussing before. So it'll have a very different tone. It will be, a little bit of Midwest kindness thrown in with the latest in technology solving problems to really meaningful companies. And I think the interaction alone, even for those that don't win, those that come to the combine, the chance to grow as a startup, they'll get great value out of that.
Craig, Titletown Tech, it started with the goal of doing just what you're doing here, right? Focusing on funding and supporting high-growth, early-stage companies. You're doing that in collaboration with Microsoft, but what a fun way to do it. What a fun vehicle to bring the best of the best to the forefront.
Well, it really is, because taking advantage of the NFL draft being in Green Bay for the first time ever, it'll be a huge event, a lot of media here, and it really gives startups a new platform that they wouldn't have. But more importantly, I think it gives us a chance to introduce to the rest of the country the innovation and the really amazing entrepreneurs that are here. So it's not just about cheese curds, barns, and brats. We're doing really cool things in fusion and AI and computer vision, and we want to show the world what's going on here.
Well, Craig, we're looking forward to seeing who the finalists are in this. Thanks so much for joining us.
It was great joining you, and thank you so much.
1222.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So the stock market is rebounding a little bit today, which is good. I always feel good about that on a Friday.
Thank goodness.
Especially,
I actually went in last night and looked at the stocks I have. I know.
Kind of held off for the last
to do it.
Couple weeks.
I did. Sometimes, I don't know, there's something, I don't know why I do it, because they say, don't look today. But I tend to. There's something about it just makes me want to. But I didn't. I held off for days, and then last night I finally did.
Well, even if you're playing a long game, you don't like to see yourself losing money, and that's kind of what's happened here if you're invested in the stock market. But something else has surged here in the world of investment. It's gold. It's above $3,000 an ounce for the first time in history.
Gold has been a shining standout during the stock sell-off, with investors turning to the precious metal as a safe harbor while stocks are battered on tariff disputes and overall geopolitical tensions. Commodity analysts point out that even more impressive about the flight to safety in gold is that it's occurring despite elevated interest rates and a strong dollar, two factors that usually dampen gold prices. Precious metals dealer Allegiance Gold says with markets appearing overvalued and central banks bolstering their neutral gold reserves, gold's long-term strength remains undeniable.
And CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks, pretty safe bet if you're going with the precious metals. I think you can get gold and silver at Costco.
You can.
And I'm not making that up.
No, it's legit. In fact, I had heard, though I haven't fact-checked this one yet, so don't quote me on this, but I think it was the one out in Pewaukee, possibly, that might be like tops for selling gold bars, which wouldn't really surprise me.
Incredible.
And I was talking about looking at my stocks last night. I did notice when just kind of looking at the markets and where they ended after the closing bell, I did notice gold was up, and it made me think about it. Also made me think about the gold bars. I don't know what price they're sitting at right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty safe precious metal to own. I find it comical that you can get it at Costco. Here's my thing. If I'm buying gold, I want the gold in my hand, right? I
want nuggets of gold
yes,
you can hold?
I want bars shipped to me. I want to have it and keep it in a safe. Yeah, everything we do, right? If you play the stock market with an E-Trade account or Robinhood or whatever the heck you do, it's just it's transactions. You're not really holding anything, but you get tax statements.
Well, you can go to Costco and buy that gold bar and have it in your hand. I was trying to find my Costco app to see what gold bars are sitting at right now, if they have any.
Along with that, a 40-pound bag of dog food and whatever you need from the world of paper plates.
Here we go. The American Buffalo gold coin, a little bit more than $3,000. But you also have a Susie Lady coin for about a little bit more. The Susie Lady is more than the Buffalo gold coin. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. Well, good to know if you're out there shopping. Subscribe to our podcast, Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast. It's built by Siding Unlimited. Take us with you wherever you go. We'll make it easy for you here. Text the word Midday to 855-616-1620. We'll get you all the information back to your mobile device. We'd love it if you could subscribe for us. It is the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast. It's built by Siding Unlimited.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
President Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum take effect today.
Eric Bilstad.
A teenager from Waukesha County arrested in Kansas has now been booked into the Waukesha County Jail.
And traffic with Debbie Loziga.
South of Paradise Drive. It's kind of a parking lot right through there. It's very, very slow.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Coming up on 12:30, I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, March 14th. Your top story, more school closures over lead.
I'm Jessica Tighe, turning himself in for murder with a nail in his head.
Partly cloudy, windy, and warm today. Storms expected at night. High of 74 inland, 64 near the lake. The wind is going to be upwards of 30 miles per hour. Overnight low of 50. Saturday, very windy, partly to mostly cloudy. Isolated shower mainly in the morning and a high of 61 degrees. Those winds are going to be nasty, up to 45 miles an hour. It's nice right now, 58 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Concerns over a widening trade war, sliding stocks, and a looming government shutdown. The deadline midnight when the government runs out of money. The Democratic leader in the Senate now says he will not oppose the House-passed funding bill, saying a shutdown would add to troubles for Americans. Here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
We're seeing this bounce because it appears that we are going to avert a government shutdown. But we saw it decline because there was a lot of confusion over these tariffs. A lot of consumers need more stability because if they're concerned about prices going up, if they're concerned about losing their jobs, they're losing that consumer confidence, an 11% decrease in the last month. And it's been down for months and it could get worse.
President Trump making a stop at the Justice Department today. He's expected to address staffers as his administration vows to reshape the agency. Severe storms on the march across much of the nation this weekend, along with extreme fire danger in parts of the South. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 12:31. While Trowbridge Elementary reopens today for students and staff, 3 more MPS buildings are closing temporarily for unsafe lead dust levels.
Closures for Starnes Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School mean those students are relocated starting Monday while cleaning and lead dust testing continues. Students at Starnes Early Childhood Center will temporarily move to Starnes Discovery Learning Center. Those at Fernwood Montessori will move to Andrew Douglas Middle School, and students at La Follette School will relocate to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning. 7 more schools are being investigated by the Milwaukee Health Department for lead dust. You can see the full list of schools at our website, WTMJ.com. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
A second guilty plea in the death of Devontae Mitchell. Herbert Williamson is one of 4 men charged in connection to Mitchell's death outside the Hyatt Hotel in downtown Milwaukee. Williamson pleaded guilty today in court to misdemeanor battery. The 52-year-old was originally charged with felony murder. Last month, Brandon LaDaniel Turner pleaded guilty to felony murder as party to a crime in a plea deal. Devin Johnson Carson is awaiting his plea hearing, and Todd Erickson is awaiting a pretrial hearing. Williamson will be sentenced in September.
A stabbing in a brewery district apartment where a Turkish national lived with the body of his dead girlfriend for 20 days.
22-year-old Sirkan Acilad faces one charge of first-degree reckless homicide for the death of Silan Tut. Acilad reported her death to police on February 27th, arriving at the police administration building with a nail in his head after attempting suicide with a nail gun. Police found Tut's body with 12 stab wounds and traces of blood and cleaning supplies across the apartment. Acilad denies killing his girlfriend or trying to cover up her death. He's in custody on a $1 million bond and due back in court Wednesday. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The number of surgical sterilizations has doubled among women since Roe v. Wade was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court. Clinical Assistant Professor at UW-Madison, Dr. Laura Hanks, on Spanning the State.
There are risks of injury around where we're working, so bowel, bladder, blood vessels, things like that. It is very low, like less than 1%, because most of our patients, as mentioned, are young and healthy and very often haven't had prior surgery, so don't have any scar tissue, but it's still a risk.
Dr. Hanks says the procedure is almost always covered by insurance.
And police in Slinger are searching for a pair of thieves who they say absconded with a notable avian statue.
The search is on in Washington County for a 4-foot Shanky's Whip emu statue that normally resides inside the Slinger Piggly Wiggly on Commerce Boulevard. Police say the bird nappers took the statue last Saturday afternoon in broad daylight. Shanky's Whip confirms on social media the theft is not a publicity stunt. A new emu has been added inside the Piggly Wiggly, and staff have chained it down to another display stand in order to prevent a second theft. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
How'd they have a backup emu so fast?
They were prepared.
Just snap your fingers, and we anticipate this will be stolen. We need a backup built immediately.
Somebody absconded the emu?
Yeah.
I like that alliteration. Okay.
Fair enough. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News time is 12:34.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff scheduled to make a start on Sunday against the Cleveland Guardians. Woodruff missed all last season with a shoulder injury. Brewers take on the Giants this afternoon. We'll have it for you beginning at 3 o'clock here on WTMJ. Big day of college basketball with Marquette taking on 6th-ranked St. John's tonight in the semifinals of the Big East tournament. St. John's beat Marquette on a buzzer beater in Milwaukee less than a week ago.
They've won this league. They're playing on their home floor. They're playing with a lot of confidence. We're grateful, man, for this opportunity to stay here.
walk up that tunnel again.
Tip-off scheduled for 5:30. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN. Badgers basketball team will be on the floor in Indianapolis after Oregon and Michigan State get done with their game. They're in the second half right now. UCLA, the opponent for UW today in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have a new incident. They're calling it an incident. Can't confirm yet if it's definitely a crash, but it does look like it. It's in Racine County near Caledonia. I-41 94 north, about a mile beyond the ramp from County K. The two right lanes are closed right now due to an incident, and I do see emergency responders are there now. Traffic is getting slow. There's not a significant backup right now, but that is a busy spot. So once again, just a heads up for you here. This happened just minutes ago. 4194 north, a little bit beyond the ramp from County K. The two right lanes are closed because of an incident in Racine County.
Windy and warm today, 74 the high, 64 closer to the lake. Wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Storms expected tonight. Could be heavy. Be mindful of that. Tomorrow, isolated chance of a shower, mainly in the morning. It'll be partly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 50, let's call it 61 degrees. Sunday high, just 41. 58 and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 12:39.
But I'm pretty good at drinking beer. So hand me one more, that's what I'm here for.
We've given you a ton of information this week on the tit-for-tat tariffs. Now another important question. Could President Trump's tariffs impact the price of your beer? Andy Gale, co-founder and president of Third Space Brewing, joins us live in the studio to provide some perspective. Thanks for coming back, Andy.
Happy to be here.
So how concerned are you about the aluminum tariffs over at Third Space?
We're pretty concerned. At the very least, it creates a lot of uncertainty. It's really hard for us to gauge, especially this back and forth. Is there a tariff? Is there not a tariff? And now we're waiting to hear from our suppliers how much our prices are going to go up, or if they are. We expect that they will.
Have you heard anything from suppliers? Because I know last week we had one of our local restaurants in downtown Milwaukee here, and he had already received an email from his supplier saying, hey, heads up, the food you're buying from us is going to cost more.
We've received some notifications to expect likely price increases, and it's not just aluminum. The tariffs from Canada are also going to cause increase in our barley malt pricing, most likely. We get a lot of barley malt from Canada. So far, we have not got any official price increase letters, but we are monitoring it, and we are hearing from suppliers that it's likely to happen.
So, Andy, do you have to go back to the drawing board and just review your suppliers and think, can we do this all in the United States? Do we need to go outside of the country for all these products?
Unfortunately, it's not even as simple as that. I mean, what we really look at, and most of our aluminum can prices, for example, are tied to the London Aluminum Index, the metal index. It's a global price of aluminum will be affected by this. And so there's going to be an impact whether we're buying from American companies or not.
So you've got some people listening right now in Bruce City going, hold up, so my beer is going to cost more too? Can you break down the cost for us a little bit? How much, when we actually buy a can of beer, or we go get a case of beer, how much are we paying for the can versus actually what's in it, which is what we're typically focusing on?
Yeah, people don't think about all the things that go into the price of their beer. And making the beer itself, I mean, a huge part of that is actually in the equipment, in the brewery, right? In the know-how of the brewmaster and the team and the labor and all those costs that go into it. But also when it comes to the cost of goods sold itself, the can is a substantial portion of it over and above the cost of the ingredients inside.
I would imagine aluminum is still more cost-effective than glass.
It is for a number of reasons, mostly transportation costs. Aluminum is lighter, it's more recyclable, things like that. Also, just the market has accepted cans as the proper way to serve beer at this point. It was a long time coming, but so it would be, it'd be a non-starter for us to switch to glass at this point. We don't have a bottling line, we have a canning line in our brewery.
Is there anything you can do now to help with the costs, even though it's back and forth and you're kind of just in a holding phase?
Unfortunately not. I mean, we're really at the whim of watching the market and see what happens. And it's really challenging for us as a small business. We truly try hard to plan ahead, and we plan our costs for the year. And it can have a major impact on investments that we're going to make in our business. And plans for products coming out and things like that.
Your business has grown, too, in the last, year and a half or so from your downtown location to a location out in Menominee Falls, right? So now you're expanding your offerings, which means your overall costs of doing business tend to go up as well.
Yes, I mean, that was a substantial investment. We built out a whole brand new restaurant and taproom space in Menominee Falls, and it's the first time you can actually go and eat a meal that we cook, from Third Space Brewing, because we have a full restaurant.
So you're the chef.
Some days I am.
Are you really?
Greg, yeah, Kevin, my business partner, and I both have done some turns on the grill or the fry cooks. Running a restaurant is a whole different animal to running a brewery. But we're having a lot of fun. People are really loving it and responding to it. We just launched a Friday fish fry, so today's the second week of Lent, so people will be lining up to get that fish fry at the Innovation Brewhouse in Menominee Falls, too.
Okay, that is so smart. I have one more quick question in regards to the cans, because you talked about, hey, at this point, we're all in on the cans. We're not doing bottles. But you go to the brewery. I know I go, and I'd love to get a draft. But Third Space is all over these days. I mean, you're in the grocery stores, you're at festivals, you're at the Bucks games with the cans. How much of your business is canned beer?
Yeah, it's more than 50%. It approaches around 60% of our business is canned beer, and as we touched on, it's a lot more expensive to make canned beer, and you pay less for it. Think about what you pay for a pint of beer over the bar versus when you buy a 6-pack in the store. So we make a lot less money on that. So when there's changes in the costs of the goods going into it, it can really have an impact on us. And hopefully we don't have to pass along any price increases, but we might.
I was telling Andy when I was calling him to book this, I said, you guys we're so smart with the marketing of Happy Place, because when I'm at the Bucks games and you have people who, if you're looking down at people on the floor, they don't have a spot for their cup holders. So they have to put their beer or their beverage, whatever they have, below their seat. And you usually can't tell what anybody has unless it's a Happy Place, because that can, it just sticks out.
Yeah, that beautiful orange can, you can always tell. And that, I always thought I recognized it because I see those cans every day, but the fact that you're seeing it makes me really happy to hear.
74 degrees might be a good day for a happy place. Could be 61 degrees or 30 degrees. It's a good day for a happy place.
And tomorrow, a lot of people will be drinking beer. You guys have events going on too. What do you have for St. Patrick's Day?
We do. We have a tradition at Third Space. It's our Mystic Knot Irish coffee style beer that we release every year on the weekend before St. Patrick's Day. So tomorrow we've got Irish dancers. We've got Irish music at both locations. We've got a food truck downtown, and we're making some special Irish dishes up at the Innovation Brewhouse in Menominee Falls, and then releasing this special beer, which is a whiskey barrel-aged Irish coffee stout called Mystic Knot.
Love it. Well, usually I say cheers at the end of this, but because it's St. Patrick's Day coming up, I'll say Sláinte, Andy.
Sláinte.
Thanks so much for joining us. That's Andy Gale, co-founder and president of Third Space Brewing. We appreciate it. It's 12:45. Coming up next, Stories of the Strange.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, if you're looking to watch some college hoops, I got the place for you. You got to step into Potawatomi Sportsbook. I was there last night, as a matter of fact. My wife and I had a wonderful dinner at Dream Dance. They're doing prime rib now every Thursday night at Dream Dance. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. 12 restaurants in the casino. You'll understand it when you get there. The food is unbelievable. And the viewing experience right there in the sportsbook is second to none. That 2,000 square foot video wall was popping last night with all sorts of basketball. At the Bucks game on, college basketball. It's going to be the place to be when all the wackiness of this month of March hits and the tournament is here. Be above the rest. Bet above the rest. Visit Potawatomi and check out the brand new sportsbook.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
The place you want to go. Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhardt. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say, you can't beat Burkhardt. New Berlin and Fox Point.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Well, spring is quickly approaching, and it's the perfect time for you to get an awning installed, so it's ready once the temps warm up. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Until March 21st, you can receive a free motor with the purchase of any retractable awning or screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Windy and warm today. Sun is shining right now. That should hang out for a good portion of the day. 74 the high, inland 64 near the lake. Rain at night could be more on the storm side, but it will be late, very late, overnight hours kind of stuff. Isolated chance for a shower on Saturday and a high of 60. We cool off quite a bit on Sunday with a high of just 41. Back into the 50s for the start of your work week. 58 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:49.
It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Jessica, you fly quite a bit, right?
Yes.
A fair amount?
I just flew, 2 weekends ago? To Texas.
Texas.
Where everything's bigger. I got my picture in front of a big old sparkly cowboy hat that was in the middle of the street. That's how they do it there.
Fantastic. Have you ever walked through TSA, tried to get through screening with a turtle in your pants?
No. Would you ever imagine I would? Who would? Who does?
I don't know. I feel like you got to ask. It sounds like a crazy question to ask somebody until you read a story of somebody who actually tried to do this. Newark, New Jersey. Hello. The Pennsylvania guy going through security at a New Jersey airport. He was found to have had a live turtle concealed in his pants, according to the Federal Transportation Security Administration. The turtle was detected Friday after a body scanner alarm went off, right? You walk through the thing, beep, beep.
Imagine what they were thinking when they saw that.
Do you have a watch on? No, I don't have a watch on. Did you put your phone in the thing? Yeah, phone's in the thing. Could you walk back through one more time? Yeah, okay. Thing goes off. Beep, beep. Can you just step over here? We're gonna have to do the wand.
Is that thing moving?
So yeah, they do the pat down and discover that a man had a turtle wrapped in a blue towel stuffed in his pants.
Hopefully it wasn't a snapping turtle.
It was not a snapping turtle. It appears to be a box turtle. His name is, do we have a name of the turtle here?
Tony?
Tony the turtle?
TJ?
It's not Tony the turtle. The name of the man has not been released. He was escorted from the checkpoint area at by Port Authority police. He did end up missing his flight. The turtle was confiscated. It's not clear if the turtle was the man's pet or why he had it in his pants. I don't know why you do this.
I know. That's the thing. A neighbor couldn't watch the turtle?
The incident remains under investigation. It's not clear if the man will face any charges. Well, that's also a good question. Are turtles supposed to fly? Like, do they need to be in their own little cage? Like,
I imagine so.
Can you put them in the overhead bin? Like, what do you do? Is it illegal to walk through TSA with a turtle in your pants?
Well, obviously it was a problem. But this is strange because wasn't it just a few months ago you had the guy with the snake in his pants?
Yes.
Now you got a guy with the turtle in the pants?
Oh, sure. Which would you rather have?
Neither.
That's a weird question. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Well, I see your story about the turtle in the pants, and I raise you an alligator in the kitchen.
Okay. All right.
I feel like this one is more plausible, though. Like, I actually get this. So this starts a Florida man, because as a lot of the strange stories do. It's more about the alligator, though. But a Florida man, he left his patio door open, wanted to get some fresh air, right? And he ended up coming face to face with an alligator in the kitchen. You live in Florida. I mean, there are alligators all around. I know when I'm down by my mom's, we see the alligator out there, and I like to know that it's out there. I take pictures of it. I get video of it. I'm checking it out. I'm very intrigued. But it's out there, and the door is closed, right? Well, Paul Quinn said he was checking his email at his home in Fort Myers on Sunday when he discovered an alligator had broken through the screen and entered through his open patio door. He called 911 and was like, ooh, what do I do? Somebody please come help, right? So they did. They had wildlife conservation, a commissioner, basically a trapper, came out and said, okay, we're going to get this guy. It was an 8-foot-long gator, and he recorded some video as the trapper used a catch pole to drag the reptile out of his house. But that's scary. In your kitchen?
Well, so I'm wondering where the gator was lurking before he made the move to get into the house. Right? So this guy walks out of the patio door, presumably, shuts the patio door, goes about his business. But where was the gator? Where did, I mean, it emerged from water, presumably somewhere, but just hanging out, doing a little sunbathing before trying to get a snack?
Well, this guy left the door open.
Oh, he did leave the door open.
I mean, so that's part of the problem. He left it open, but I guess then there was also the screen was broken a little bit. But he left the door open. I just think that's, if you live in Florida and you have gators around, you can't do that.
Yeah, not good.
Not good.
Not gators and turtles. Yeah, prehistoric animals here on Stories of the Strange. 12:53. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off your shoulders. Greg Matzek here for Gruber Law Offices. You make the call if you've been hurt in an accident. Gruber handles fighting the legal battle for you while you focus on healing. It's a simple phone call, 414-276-6666. Learn more about their firm in addition to what they do in the community and what they've been doing for 40 years, giving back and helping you. That's right, getting results that speak for themselves. It's a family-owned and operated business, locally known, but also nationally recognized. It's Gruber Law Offices. Visit gruber-law.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, or make that phone call to 414-276-6666.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
One more time, Ted Lasso. This is going to get people excited. A lot of people like this show. Ted Lasso coming back for another season. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has the details.
Apple Plus has renewed the series for season 4.
This job you gave me has changed my life.
The American football coach turned soccer coach returns to lead AFC Richmond, even though Season 3 had pretty much tied up all the plot lines. In a statement, the show's star and developer Jason Sudeikis says in Season 4, the folks at AFC Richmond learn to leap before they look.
Boy, I'd love to curl up on a couch under a weighted blanket, watch You've Got Mail, and devour a box of Snookers.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
It's a great show.
It is a good one.
It really is good. I'm a little surprised that they can keep going with this, right, in a fourth season. It seemed like maybe it would have had its shelf life, but there's so many lovable characters in it that I think you find a way to extend it, and I'll be curious to see where it goes, what direction.
I watch a lot of news, my husband and I, and we don't watch a lot of TV outside of that, but I love Apple TV. I just feel like all the shows I've watched, I've really enjoyed. The morning show, of course, with my news background, I love that. But Ted Lasso was good. We're watching Shrinking, second season of Shrinking. Really like that one. And I love Bad Sisters, too. So good. Apple's good. Apple's good.
A lot of good stuff. Yes, that's where you'll need to find it at some point. Who knows? Maybe it gets to Netflix or whatnot. But for now, it's an Apple thing if you want to watch Ted Lasso. It's good. It's a really good show. Jason Sudeikis has done a fantastic job with that. 12:57 on WTMJ. News is coming up, and then it's spanning the state. Enjoy the rest of your Friday here on WTMJ.
A Friday Lent fish fry is a family tradition. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Take your family to the amazing Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford today for their all-you-can-eat Lenten fish fry, just $7.99.